is doing under the conditions of a cleaner and healthier diet, right? So what we can do is we can minimize that. So if someone's so your question is, if someone's losing too much weight or whatnot, what do they do? You can kind of slow down the effects and kind of pick where you want to be in that spectrum. So if the aesthetics are very, very important, and you notice that a raw diet is taking too much away from you, and it causes a lot of stress and a lot of worry, then the stress and the worry is probably less healthy for you. So in that case, maybe you want to have more concentrated food in the diet. Maybe you do want to have that tiny amount of cooked food, or maybe you do want to add like a higher concentration of nuts and seeds or whatnot, or a higher concentration of fats and the avocados and the olives and all that stuff, right? So maybe you do. If that's what it takes to alleviate stress and worry, right? If you're that person that's what's important, then I don't have a good answer for you. Then you probably don't want that lifestyle, right? You probably want to find some sort of compromise where you're happy with how you look, and you're not getting that stress and worry and all those other discomforts, right? So and that's really how it works. You just have to plot yourself into where you want to be, right? And depending on what you want, right? So if the healthiest of the healthiest is what you want, right? Then you just have to understand that comes at not at a price. It's not that it comes at a price, but it comes with there's a process associated with that you have to be willing to accept. And it's no different than the alcoholic, right? Okay, if you're the alcoholic and you have determined that you do not want to be an alcoholic any longer, you must, by necessity, go through a period where there's a discomfort and like an uncomfortable period where you're going to be casting out all of the metabolic byproducts associated with alcoholism, and it's uncomfortable, right? And it does things to your body. It changes your body. But on the other side of that is some nice green grass, right? So you just have to be so you just have to be understanding of that, right? So and that's and you get that question a lot. It's like, oh, how do I stop the weight loss? And it's one of those things, like you're asking for have your cake and eat it too, right? You have to kind of choose, and you can mitigate. You can mitigate within reason, even in the raw food spectrum. So you would just have eat more, or eat more of the concentrated foods, or eat more often, or whatever it is. However you want to play it, but there does come a point where you have to just choose where you want to be, and make sure you have your whys very straight, and then just plot out where on that spectrum you're comfortable without the stress and the worry, what you can manage comfortably, and what's feasible for you with your situation. Because obviously, we live all over the planet. People are going to come from different different circumstances, different geographical circumstances, and so not everything is going to be feasible for everybody. So we always have to recognize that too, right?
Yes, I think being in India is really good. You can get all varieties of food, and there's sun and so much. So
awesome. Well, sorry, I was just about to say, I saw the video, a couple of your recent videos, and my mouth was watering. I'm like, oh my God, they have access to such amazing stuff.
Well, I can't wait to have you here. Like, it would be so epic, whenever it has to happen.
It'd be amazing. Yeah.
Yes. There was this one question that came from the audience, which was like, what is your daily routine like? So, like, I would also want to ask you, are you meditating, breathing exercises, and like, what do you do for spirituality? I know you read a lot, and I'm sure you're living mindfully. You have amazing energy. that I can feel. And you're doing so good with your body and mind and with your work and everything. Oh, there was so much love that I felt in the messages as well. I was like
Oh,
so feeling amazing. But like, what
oh,
are
you're
the other
amazing.
things? What are the other things that you're doing as well? Because um,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that everyone who's eating raw food has like, gone through a great evolution of consciousness. There is definitely that it helps, but you would find so many people
Yeah.
who are raw
Yeah.
vegan and you wouldn't like, okay, all right, you just be like,
Hmm.
okay, all right. There's not so much inspiration. But when it comes to you, like,
Right.
the energy is great and like you're doing so good with your body and there's so much more. So what is your routine like? What tell us about like your spiritual practices that you're also following along
Sure.
with the food.
Right. Right. Yeah. So, and that's one of the reasons why I like this path so much, because it does interface so well with any spiritual pursuits, and
Yes.
it complements them, and it makes them more likely to succeed. Like, you'll have a much better time. I talked at some point on my channel just about breathing, about how important breathing is, and if your pathways are clogged up, your meditation is going to be, it's going to be half baked, right? You want clean respiratory channels so that you get the most out of that practice. And so just having all of these motivations, it just serves to reinforce my whys, right? To get my whys really straight. And now, in terms of what I'm doing on a daily basis for just spiritual development, or you mean like diet as well? Like, what's a typical diet day and meditation thing, or you mean
Yeah.
just on the spiritual
Well,
side of things,
you could
or
include
either
all of
way?
it. Yeah, just like
Okay, fine.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So in terms of just spirituality, I think the first place that I would start, or that I started from, is just recognizing your dreams and just being very mindful of your dreams. It's the easiest and most natural connection that we have to our spiritual centers is how we dream. So when I started, that's what I started with. I just started trying to pay very, very close attention, having the booklet, my notebook beside my bed at all times with a pen ready. And then whenever I would have a dream or an experience, I'd always just write it down, and just being very mindful. So I was going to bed always anticipating and getting ready for whatever I was going to dream, what messages might be coming. And then in the morning, or whenever I wake up, just recording them. So that, I think, for anyone that wants to start, that's probably the best place to go, because like I was saying, it's the most direct access that you have to your higher spiritual centers without much effort at all. Everybody dreams. You just have to want to pay attention, and then you start to remember. In terms of actual meditation, I like to do them before I go to bed, because what that does is it puts me in the right frame of mind to be able to have better success with either my dreams or lucid dreaming or astral projection, right? So getting the right mind state where I'm kind of getting rid of the clutter, I like to do it before bed. So have about 15 to 20 minutes. And this is not every night. I'm no spiritual guru by any means, right? So I don't want to give anyone out there a false impression, right? I'm just as likely to be picking out on cantaloupe, before bed. So I'm that guy too. But when I do my
That's true
practice, yeah, I do
spirituality.
like to do it before bed. Yeah, in a manner of
Well,
speaking. In a manner of speaking, yes. But yeah. But when I do it, I do like to do it before bed. And if I can't, if I have to just get to bed for work or whatnot, or whatever, because I want to wake up early, then honestly, anytime, any time of day is best. But I'm more likely to be doing it either in the morning or in the evening. The day is for whatever I have to do during the life. What I do during a practice could be a couple different things. It could be just an emptiness session where I'm just kind of focusing on the breath and nothing else. So it's just like a concentration session and an emptiness session, just emptying yourself of any of the impressions that have come in through the day, and just reconnecting with pure breath alone. So that's one thing I could do. Another thing I could do is I could be doing introspective work, where I'm taking something, a habit, an experience, and I want to investigate it. Then I keep that in mind and just let it ring out and ask questions and see if I can get some answers with one particular thing. And you can meditate and get some good answers on that. I say meditate, that might be the wrong word.
Contemplate.
Yeah, quiet contemplation might be a good word to use, or good term, excuse me.
With the source.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. Mm-hmm. Another type of meditation that I'll do is kind of like a tactile imaging. It's or if you rub your arm or rub your hand, you have a bit of, and then you stop rubbing your hand, you have a sensation that lingers on your hand. And what you can do is, so let's say I set this pattern going, like just like this, and then I take my finger away, but with my mind I keep doing that pattern as if I'm still touching with my finger. What you'll notice is that you can still feel your finger rubbing your own hand, right?
Yes.
But just with mental effort, not with any physical contact.
Yes.
And what's happening there is you are directly interfacing your body with the mental effort, with the field of energy that surrounds you. You're manipulating it in such a way that you're stimulating the nervous system in your body. So that being said, one of the things I could do during a session is just to work on my energy body by doing that, and manipulating energy around my upper body, my legs, my lower body, in whatever way. And that always is there's some audio coming through. I think someone just forgot to mute themselves. Yeah, sure.
I'm not able to mute them.
You might
I could do it for other people, but this guy, this technology stuff.
There should be an option there. I know, yeah, it's
a
bit overwhelming, right?
Sometimes it works, just sometimes it doesn't work. I think it's fine now.
You should be able to. There should be an option if you're the moderator to.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, there you go. They found it. Yeah. So.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So that's another thing that you could do, or that I definitely do. Good places to do that are the soles of your feet, the underside of your feet, and your hands, because those are very, very sensitive areas. Astrally speaking, in terms of their astral sensitivity, your hands and the underside of your feet. So a good meditation would be to just sit calmly and then to run that mental process on the underside of your feet, kind of like someone has a paintbrush and is just painting the underside of your feet. As absurd as that sounds, I know, but
no, I'm already doing it with my mind. I'm like, oh, that feels good.
and you'll be able to. Yeah, you can definitely feel sensation there, right? And it's a way to manipulate your own etheric energy field. It's not really a manipulation of your astral field; it's more of the etheric energy. And that's a topic for another day, but that's a type of meditation you can do. So there are different styles that I play with I vary from session to session. It's not always the same thing. But whichever one I'm doing, I like before bed or in the morning at some point.
Awesome. So before asking another question, I want to ask you, what is your time limit? How is it going? And because it's already, I think, 1.5 hours that we've been talking, and you have.
Is it really? Oh my God.
Yeah. Right.
Holy smokes. No, it's fine. Yeah. No, it's fine. Yeah, I'm okay.
Oh. Yeah. Do you have enough time? We can also, yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and then we can do it today till whatever time, and then we can like have another session. I would love to keep
Sure.
hearing, your
Sure.
experiences, and I would also put it on my YouTube and promote it, and like, benefit whichever way I can.
Oh,
um,
amazing. Amazing.
yeah,
Okay.
yes,
Well, I would say, yeah, I would say if I'm, I'd say another like another 15,
okay,
20 minutes, and then yeah, I'll probably have to pack up and start heading out.
yes, I completely understand.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, we took the questions from the audience. Just let me get into the flow.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Right before you do that,
yes,
sorry, I realized I didn't answer your other question. In
yes,
terms of like my lifestyle and eating lifestyle, like what I do day to day, like
yes,
what exactly I would eat. Obviously, that's a really common question too.
yes,
And that's there's nothing shocking or crazy about that. Well, maybe shocking, but it's not a difficult thing. It's pick any fruit, right? And in its isolation, I would eat that. So this week I've plums. Plums are in season right now. I've been eating a lot of plums. So at dinner time or lunchtime, it could be 5-6 plums. That would be a meal. And then maybe in the evening, have some watermelon or a cantaloupe or something.
wow,
I'll either eat one meal a day or I'll eat meals a day. Sometimes it's been three smaller meals. I'm not really super strict on it. I just kind of go with the flow and see what my body's feeling like that day. I'm very comfortable eating not much at all, like one meal or nothing during the day, or 2 meals. Usually it's about 2 meals a day. But yeah, nothing along in terms of what I say I do. I'm eating fruit, and that really is it. So mangoes are a meal. Couple mangoes are a meal. Couple pears are a meal. If I want to go a bit more fancy, maybe I can maybe I can crush up some bananas and dates. I love bananas and dates. I don't
yeah,
do it
I
very
know that
often.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's, oh my God, it's so tasty. I don't
yeah,
do it very often, but that's a good treat.
yeah.
Or maybe even pears and dates. It's an amazing combination. Yeah, so just very simple meals, either twice, sometimes three, or just one meal during the day. So yeah, you can
And
use your
it's like
imagination.
I eat so much, so much more than you, and look at you and look at oh my God, I eat like, if like, I'm at my friend's place and I still have like so much fruit around me. I have like 15 kgs of watermelon lying on the left, and then like a few kgs of papayas and bananas over here. And I would eat like my
Ooh,
first first meal would be, well, I could grab the papaya maybe. My first meal would be like two watermelons or something, and there's just like one
yes,
whole big
yes.
papaya. I could eat two of
Oh,
them sometimes.
oh, I'm in. I can pack away papaya like no one's business. I can eat so much papaya. This stuff is
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm
I've definitely eaten like three papayas in a sitting. Before,
yeah,
like it'll happen.
yes.
Yeah.
But I also think like I am kind of like detoxifying right now, and I feel good with
Yeah.
eating, so I'm just going with my feeling, and yeah, fruit is nice to eat.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah,
Yes. Yes.
eating a lot, whatever I can. So
Mhm.
maybe you could tell me what is it that you already like reached such a high in your life when it comes to your food. And then there was this one question.
Mhm.
I was like, are you looking at going like, breatharian or something, because you're eating
Oh, yeah,
such
yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's such little
yeah.
food, and then you're maintaining your body as
Mhm.
well. So it definitely has to do with like that you've reached certain level of consciousness with respect to your
Yeah.
body as well, right? Because it's not
Yeah.
losing weight even when you're eating less. It's like there's some beautiful magic that you've done with your clean diet and your
Oh.
beauty inside and your love and everything. So where do you see yourself, like maybe would you like to become a breatharian probably later?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Shh. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. It's I don't mention it too often on my channel, obviously, because it's a channel that's meant for the public, right? I want to be as
Yes.
accessible to as many people as possible.
Yes.
But if you're talking about like what really inspires me, then yeah, like I find that so inspiring. I find that really, really, really fascinating. And going over records of people that have done that in the past, it's just
Yes.
like, oh my God, yeah, it's amazing, right? And you know, people are out there, they exist,
Yeah.
they're out there, right? And
Yeah.
they're doing that, they're living that lifestyle. So yeah, if I can get there or even close, just, you know what, I think for me it's just gaining like just complete mastery over that aspect, over the eating aspect, in whatever way. If that's just very, 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 very minimal, like very, very minimally, and still, you know, feeling fine, like that's a great place for me to be. So just having the most control and the most mastery over
Yeah.
that eating lifestyle, I think for me is a good, is motivation, is the motivation. And where that takes me in the future, I guess we'll see. But that is definitely something I aim for. Yeah, for sure.
Wow, beautiful. It's
Mhm.
beautiful. So I'm still transitioning to a raw diet, but like in my heart also I tell myself, yeah, maybe, I would also
Yeah.
like to be a Brazilian someday.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
I know.
it,
You know, there's an inescapable beauty to it that I don't think anyone would fail to recognize. You know, just
yes,
being like living in complete harmony with the environment, and not needing anything from it, and still giving out to it. And just, yeah, like I mean, you can't help but be inspired by people that would be doing that. Obviously, I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about other people that have achieved that already. And it's just it's amazing. That's amazing.
yes, definitely inspiring and something that you would want to look up to, and it's so freaking liberating. The first time
Yeah, yeah,
I did a water fast, I was like, wow, I can live without food for one day. I was like,
yeah,
yeah,
right, yeah,
freedom. So I'm sure, like,
freedom.
yeah, you have to worry about nothing. It's like you can do so much with life. Definitely
Yeah,
something that I would like to experience in my human form, this or another life, I don't know. But like, it
yes,
would be it
yes,
would be nice to experience. So I have
yeah,
another question. So how do you like
yeah, of course.
living in we will kind of conclude now, because I don't want to take so much of your time, and I would love it if we can do like more session, maybe one session,
Of
and we can like
course.
focus on one topic, maybe ethics or something, I don't know,
Sure,
figure out.
sure, yeah,
uh,
that'd be good. Yeah, that'd be good.
yes, awesome. So
Mhm.
I was going to ask you, so how is it living in Toronto, like with respect to availability of food, or maybe just nature and sunlight? How do you
Mhm.
feel, where do you see yourself in the future with respect to your job and
Right.
also your living space?
Yeah, yeah. So in terms of how the lifestyle is, how sticking to this lifestyle is in Toronto, you might find some people out there that say it's hard. I don't know what they're talking about. It's
Uh-huh.
so easy for me living
Yeah.
where I am right now. It's very easy. We have an abundance of just everything imaginable right at your disposal, right at your fingertips. Like I've got all sorts of grocery stores in the area. I have lots of Jamaican grocers, Asian grocery stores for like all my tropical food desires. The Jamaican stores, everything, right? And then a whole bunch of like big chain stores. I have farmers markets in the area. Toronto is great for that. We have everything. We have everything. So it's very easy living this way in Toronto. I have to say, like I couldn't imagine it being easier to be completely honest, right?
Yeah.
Um, Now I would have better quality fruit or better quality food, I should say, if I were living in the tropics or whatnot. But at the same time, because it's just such a developed area, I mean, like the amount of stores and grocery stores and conveniences all within a very close proximity to one another, it's like it's almost hard for me to imagine that it would be even more convenient somewhere else. So I'm sure it could be. It's just this is just my
No,
narrow experience, right?
no, I'm
But
sure it's
living in
great.
Toronto, and yeah, anyone wanting to do a raw food diet, any kind of raw food diet, I mean, very easy, very easy in Toronto. You have access to everything. I'm sure there are parts of the, as you go outside the city, it'll probably get more difficult. But in the city, is just, yeah, they cater to every possible thing that you could want. So I really like it there. I would like to at least have some getaway, some properties, some getaway in the tropics for the future. I've looked into it in the past, and I actually did have a place in oh my god, oh Jesus, not Dominican, oh, Honduras. I was looking at a place in Honduras, and I was very close to having a place there, but it didn't end up working out. So I had to get rid of the property. But yeah, so I would like to at least have a place in the tropics where I can go and spend a good time, a portion of the year. Because, like you were saying, you alluded to the sun, like how does it work with the sunlight, and are you getting enough of that during the winter? And no, the answer is no. You don't get enough sun during the winter. You're indoors, and yeah, I know, right? So, I expect to have a place ready for me in the winter time.
Definitely. Definitely.
Thank you. That's so kind of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I will definitely take you up on that. Yeah. Yeah, I'll come stay with your community, and yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, we're making
but yeah, during the winter.
Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear you.
Oh no, it's okay. Yeah, during the winter, yeah, it's you're in Canada, you don't get as much sunlight during the winter time. Have I found it really detracted from my ability to live the lifestyle though? No, because you still have everything in your convenience. Like, oh my god, it's winter, middle of winter time, and I'm eating durian. Like,
yeah.
How are we complaining? It's very easy. So in terms of the lifestyle, that doesn't take a hitch. But yeah, like, well, with me, I'm half black and half Italian, right? Half St. Lucian, half Italian. So during the winter, my skin, I turn completely white, just completely white during the winter. And then during the summer, then it changes. Then the skin gets like so much darker.
Wow.
So crazy contrast. Yeah. So yeah, we don't get much sun during. We do get a lot. We do get quite a bit though. We do get a good deal of sun for a place that has the winter season. But still, yeah, it's not. We definitely prefer to get that sun all year long. But does it, am I worried about, okay, so this is what I think people are getting at. Am I worried about vitamin D deficiency or whatnot? No, I'm not worried about these things, to be honest. I'm really not. You get a lot of this with the food. And would it be better if I were in the tropics? Yes, absolutely. Would it be better if I were in the tropics? Yes. But I'm not worried about deficiencies because the body is very, very strong. It has the ability to maintain itself throughout a winter, especially if you're eating what it's supposed to be eating. You're definitely getting a lot of what you need. So I personally would not worry about that. I'm open to debate on this. Like, I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be the master expert on this, but I haven't seen a problem yet. So
yes. Awesome. And with respect to your job, like, would you like to be completely a health coach, or are you looking at continuing with the being a stuntman? What do you see yourself as?
Yeah, well, I do love working in the industry, and I do. What I'd like to do now is just make more of a transition into this type of work, health coaching and managing my channel. I don't have my own website yet because this was always just something I was doing on the side for people, for everyone else, right? So I never really saw it as that thing. It was just this obligation that I was feeling to just get out what I was learning, and that's still what it is now. So I still haven't created a business or a website with it. I offer consultations, but that's just something I'm just offering out there. It's not like I haven't regimented it as a business practice quite yet, because I still do have this side of me that really loves performing in the industry. Things are changing in the industry now, as you know, and we haven't really spoken about it, but maybe that's something we'll have to speak about next time, about how this ridiculous fear campaign associated with the virus and all that nonsense. I need to choose my words carefully.
No,
not nonsense. You understand what I'm saying? It's not nonsense, but it's the fear associated with this condition is drastically over exaggerated, and it's done so as to impose a ridiculously crushing, tyrannical agenda on the population at large. So they've created this vague enemy out there, and they want you to be ultra scared of it. They want you to just be in panic, be in terror, be scared of everything in your environment, be scared of your neighbor, be scared of the microbe on the floor, be scared of your own feet, be scared of the environment around you, be scared of everything, right? That's what they want. So anyway, in response to this Orwellian nightmare that the social engineers have created, the film industry is changing, and if it gets too tyrannical, then I would have no choice but to leave. But until that time, then yes, I do love the industry. I am, if I can coordinate at some point in the future, do like stunt coordination and whatnot, that would be great too. And I would have a lot of fun with that. And I would never shun my obligation to, obviously, the health community. I'm still going to be putting out that content, but I think I do want to move more towards, it's more in line with me, with how I see myself. I'm just making more of this my lifestyle, my business, right?
Yes.
Rather than everything else, because this is the stuff that's important. This is the stuff that really matters.
Yes, certainly. Awesome. I really wish you all the abundance and the time and the money and the love and everything that you deserve so much for everything that you want to do in life. And I hope it all comes in like colors and stars and divinity and guidance, all the Satyug and the divine life that you deserve to live.
Thank you so much, and you too. I wish you all the health and wellness and love and abundance that the universe could possibly give you, and thank you so much for having me on your platform here. It's really amazing, and it's so great what you're doing with your community. I think I mentioned it before, but it's much respect for that, and because it takes a certain person to have that commitment to go ahead and do something like that, and we need more of it on the planet, and you're helping out. So thank you so much for everything you're doing, and of course for having me on your show.
Thank you so much as well, and I will surely reconnect. I hope you have a very lovely day, and thank you everyone also who joined in. Lots of love and amazingness for everyone. All right, bye Eli. Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, all right, we'll see you on the next one, and thank you everyone for sitting in and listening to this. If you had questions that we didn't get to, I know, please don't kill me. Maybe we can get to it. We can get to it next time. But I really appreciate you guys all sitting in with us today. So thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Love you.
Okay, take care, guys.